Good morning, everybody. Today I wanted to do this video to talk about painless, easy ways that you can start to save money without changing a lot in how you spend your money, not doing a full budget. Just basically, you don't really have to do anything once you set these things up, and the money will automatically start to be saved. So the first way of saving some money without doing a lot is to open a bank the rest account, it's a savings account that you attach to your checking account. And what happens is that anytime you make a purchase, your bank will round that up either to the next $1 or to the next $5 increments, and that money is then taken directly out of your account every time you make a purchase, and it is deposited into that savings account. Now, I don't know how many banks are doing this. I do know that Scotiabank has one, that they will round up to the next dollar or the next $5 on every purchase, depending on what you choose to do. And that money is automatically switched over and put into a savings account for you. There must be other, I'm sure that they're not the only ones that are doing this. There has to be other people. It may have a different name, but those accounts are out there, and that is an incredible way to save money. Save a little bit of money every time you make a purchase, and you don't really have to change anything else in your daily spending. So you continue with what you're doing. You spend money the same way you always have. The only difference is every time you make a purchase, a few cents is being moved from your checking account into a savings account for you. And you don't have to do anything. It just automatically goes. The second way that you can save money really easily without thinking about it too much is to save your change. If you're a cash shopper, this basically up here is for debit shoppers, people who use debit cards to shop. This one, number 2, is for cash shoppers. So if when you're out shopping and you're using your cash, every time you break a bill, you're getting a handful of change back. So just take that change and put it into a jar. And if you're not spending that money, it will add up really quickly. This is one of the things that I actually do every time I go shopping. And I think last year I saved, not even a full year, it was only 10 months, and I saved a little over $800 just by putting change in a jar. The third way is to set up automatic transfers from your checking account into a savings account from each paycheck. Now, you can choose the amount that you want to do that for. It depends on what you can afford to do, but you can automatically specify an amount that comes directly out of your account as soon as you get paid, and it's moved into a savings account for you. That way the money is automatically taken. You don't have to do anything. It's just moved directly to your savings, and it will stay there until you take it out, I guess, or need it for something. That's not one that I am doing at the moment, but actually these two are not ones that I'm doing at the moment. Number 1, which is the bank the rest, I am definitely going to start doing that. And this one, where the automatic transfer takes a small amount every paycheck and just puts it into a savings account, I'm going to do that one as well. The coin savings I am already doing. The thing with these is these first 3, they rely on you not to use that money. You have to decide that you're going to leave that money in those accounts. And if you don't, then your savings just isn't going to go anywhere. This 4th one does not rely on you. This one, you have no access to this money for a year, or for, depending on what time you start doing this in the year, will depend on how long you have no access to it. This is one that I did for 5 years, and it worked out really well for me. So you can actually have your employer take extra income tax off of your paycheck, and you pay that in every pay period. And at the end of the year, if you normally get a tax refund, let's say your tax refund is normally $400 or $500, and you're paying in an extra $20. I was paying in an extra $20 a week. So I paid in an extra $1,040 a year in income tax, knowing that I was going to get all of that back plus whatever my regular refund would have been. And this is it's all one lump sum. You get it back all at one time in one lump sum. And the great thing about this is you don't have access to that money until you get it back from the government. Therefore, you can't spend it. You can't use it for anything else. But you know that at the end of the year, when you file your taxes and your refund comes, that you're going to have all that extra money on there. And for me, it worked out really well because once a year I knew that I was going to have about $2,500 coming back in a tax refund that I could then take that lump sum of money and do something with it. It's hard. $20 a week doesn't sound like anything. It's a small amount, and it's really hard to visualize how $20 a week is going to add up. But with the extra 20 that I paid, plus the income tax they were already taking, I ended up getting about a $2,500 refund on this. And that is a substantial amount of money. And these are just quick, easy ways that you don't have to sit down and you don't have to do cash stuffing, you don't have to do budgeting, you don't have to do any savings challenges. Those things are great if you want to do them, and I really enjoy doing them. But for people who don't want to go that route, these are ways that you can save money without doing anything. Once you get these things set up, they will do the work for you. They will build the savings for you. All you have to do is just leave it alone, not spend the money, and you will eventually end up with a sizable chunk of money in your savings accounts. That is how these two things are how I do most of my savings. And those were the ways that I saved in the beginning. Now I do the budgeting. I do the cash stuffing. I do the savings challenges because that makes saving fun, which is half the battle for me. I need to be motivated. So therefore, the more fun I can make it, the more I want to do it. But these are just quick, easy ways that even if you're not interested in doing these things, you can start to build savings. You can start to build wealth a little bit at a time in small amounts that you don't even notice that you're missing. And eventually they add up to a good chunk of money. So give these things a try. Some of them may not apply to you. If you don't shop with cash, you're not going to have change. But you can do the roundup bank account if you're a debit shopper. And that little bit of money will add up. Automatic transfers, anyone can do that. If you've got a bank account, you can automatically have money transferred into a separate savings account once a month, twice a month. You can have it done directly on your payday. And this one, if you have a job where where your employer is taking deductions from your paycheck, you can have this implemented. And this one for me is one of the better ones because you get to decide how much you're going to pay in. You don't have access to that money. Therefore, it's automatically going to be there for you at income tax time. And you get that all back in one lump sum. So this, by far, this one is my favorite. But you choose what works for you. Take the information and customize it to what you feel you can afford, and what you think that you can do and what's going to work for you. You know whether you can trust yourself to leave money in a bank account. You know whether you have change that you can put in a jar. Most people don't like to spend change. So once you put it in a jar, it tends to stay there unless you really need it for something. And these three things, the first three on this list, you do have access to this money. So any of this, if something happens 6 months in and you need that money for something, you can walk into the bank and get it. Or you can take your change, roll it up, take it to the bank, and you can have that money within 24 hours. So there is a bonus to these things as well. The money is there if you need it. Hopefully you won't. This one, you do not have access to that. That is going to be kept by the government until tax time, no matter what you do. You can have it stopped. You can go in and tell your employer that you want to stop that being taken off if it's necessary. But whatever has been paid in will remain with the government until they give you your tax refund. So I just thought I would share a few of these with you in case you didn't already know about them. And like I said, these are easy, they're painless. You don't even notice these small amounts, especially where they're taken off before you get the money. Your paycheck basically. You won't even notice them being taken off. So I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say for today. And give this a try. If you try any of these things, if you're already doing any of these things, comment to let me know how they're working out for you. Because, like I said, these are the 4 things that I could come up with, and I'm sure there are more. But these are things that once you do them, you get them implemented. That's all you have to do. You never have to worry about it again. Anyway, thank you very much for spending some time with me this morning, and you all have a great day.